All right, shalom, shalom. Giving all praises, glory, honor unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that teach us this truth through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kwadash. In the name of the Holy Spirit. All right, peace, love, and blessings to the elect, scatter abroad around the four corners of the earth, mainly in Babylon the Great, which is America. All right, 144,000 and 1/3. Peace, love, and blessings and protection unto the remnant of the elect of the house of Israel, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, Seminole Indian descent. All right, and I'm going into the title of my lesson, which is when hyperinflation comes into play. When hyperinflation comes into play, families starve. All right. And what, compelled me to do this video through the Rakah Kwadash was a conversation I had with a individual. And I just want to say that's, the benefits of working in a retail store, because you can really see the impacts on the prices and also the impacts of the people. All right. But nonetheless, it was a guy that came into the workplace that I, slave at or whatever. And he was talking about how, everything has changed over the years. Ever since 2020 hit, 2019 hit, things has drastically changed over the years. Inflation happened. The farm family-owned businesses were getting shut down and being burned down to the ground, alluding to what was going on back in 2021, if I'm not mistaken, with all those different processing plants kept getting burned down and freak accidents was happening during these food processing places. All right, but us knowing through the spirit that the elites are orchestrating and try to, make plan of a famine. All right. And Babylon the Great will be under a great siege, as in, the ancient of times, man, as before that Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai did upon different ancient kingdoms and rulerships. All right. And also mainly towards his people, because we have to also remember we are living in the times of all hell about to break loose, aka Jacob's trouble. All right, the second return of who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. All right, which in the true Paleo Hebrew, his name is Yahweh Shai Hamashiach. He the anointed savior, he the deliverer. All right, but before all those things come to pass, it's going to be various of plagues, famines, sorrows. All right, beginning of sorrows. All right, great confusion, famines, if I haven't said it before, and all types of evils. All right, bad times. All right, perilous times, going back to 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 1. All right, perilous times shall come in the last days, and also scoffers. OK, and also in Ephesians 5 and 21, redeeming the times because the days are evil. All right. And that's the times that we are living into. But going back into the title, when hyperinflation's hit, or when it comes into play, family starves, man. All right. And that's the times that we are entering into. All judgment, all hell is about to break loose. And I'm just basically going to read a few of the key points in this article, and I'm going to send it via in the link in the description box, and you can read it in your free time or whatever. But basically it's just going into how hyperinflation, is going to lead to ultimately a Great Depression, and ultimately the final collapse of the US dollar. OK, which it is on the verge of collapsing. All right. And when that does happen, which it will come to pass, all right, that MOTB will be the next currency in line in order to try to control and put order out of the chaos amongst the masses of the people. Because a lot of people, when that day and when that time come, it's not gonna be no more, so-called quote unquote a nigga chasing the bag. It won't be no such thing as nigga, I got billions of dollars. I got millions of dollars. I got thousands of dollars over here, over there. All right. No more flexing on or trying to flaunt on each other. See who got the most money, cars, fancy clothes, and hoes, or whatever the fuck else that our people like to showboat with. All that is going to become obsolete once this dollar collapse. And people are going to feel that effect of when hyperinflation hits. People already are feeling the effects now of inflation, how much more hyper. All right, and I'm going to read some of it. It says hyperinflation, it causes and affects with examples. Hyperinflation is when the prices of goods and service rise more than 50% per month. At that rate, a loaf of bread could cost one amount in the morning and a higher one in the afternoon. All right. So picture that when, things start to kick in the hyperinflation. So it basically is going to be changing over within hours, within days, how prices are just going to be skyrocketing to the point people are not going to afford these items. The severity of cost increases distinguish it from the other types of inflation. The next worst, galloping inflation, send prices up 10% or more per year. Causes of hyperinflation. Hyperinflation has two main causes: an increase in the money supply and demand pull inflation. The former happens when a country's government begins printing money to pay for its spending. As it increases the money supply, prices rise as in regular inflation. All right, and that's what happens when you get all these different package deals. All right, and $1 billion and $1 million trade deals and package deal to aid for the war in Ukraine, the war in Israel. All right, so on and so forth. Oh, you got something, new. What's out now is, Civil War, how the Americans are against the American politicians and governors and so on and so forth, dealing with these immigrants, dealing with these migrants over here. Because now the migrants can receive certain benefits just by being over here. But meanwhile, your everyday average citizen, you're still starving. You're still, quote unquote, holding on to the American dream, still thinking that this place will get better for you, but it's ultimately fitted for destruction. It is written for this place to be destroyed, that the way it's going to be destroyed, man. And this is part of the signs of it. The other cause, demand pull inflation, occurs when a surge in demand outstrips supplies, sending prices higher. Say when a surge in demand outstrips supplies, sending prices higher. This can happen due to increased consumer spending due to a growing economy, a sudden rise in exports, or more government spending. All right. The two often go hand in hand. Instead of tightening the money supply to stop inflation, the government or central bank might continue to print more money. With too much currency splurging around, prices skyrocket. Once consumers realize what is happening, they expect continued inflation. They buy more now to avoid paying a higher price later. That excessive demand aggravates inflation. It's even worse if consumers stockpile goods and create shortages. And that's what happened a while ago during the C-19 pandemic. Say key takeaways. When prices soars over 50% in 1 month, the economy is experiencing hyperinflation. This can be caused by a government that prints more money than its nation's GDP can support. Basically, going over that interest rate. They can't have the money to pay back that interest rate. So they're basically owing more that they're dishing out. All right. You got to realize that this place is over, I believe, $30 trillion in debt, if I'm not mistaken. That's trillions. But meanwhile, they're passing $1 billion and $1 million packages in order to help the wars in Ukraine, the wars in Israel, and also dealing with the immigrant crisis as we speak. But like I said, meanwhile, everyday citizens are paying for the price of it. All right, you everyday taxpayers, the ones that believe in voting, all right, believe into Egypt, woe unto you that go down for Egypt, that trust in Egypt. The scriptures do not lie, man, because this is not your rest at the end of the day. And it's ultimately going to be a fall unto you. Going back to Isaiah 31, the 1 through 3 on down, if I'm not mistaken, and Isaiah chapter 30, verses 1 through 3. All right, for you go down unto Egypt for help, and once you do that, Egypt is going to fall, and once it falls, you're going to fall down with it, and you're going to be ashamed as Babylon the Great, as Egypt. Okay, because this place will be thrown down with violence, as it say in Revelation, the 18th chapter. Hyperinflation tends to occur during a period of economic turmoil or depression. All right, effects of hyperinflation. When hyperinflation is in effect, consumer behaviors adjust to keep from paying more for goods tomorrow. People begin hoarding today. That stockpiling creates shortages. Hoarding can start with durable goods such as automobiles and washing machines. If hyperinflation continues, people hoard perishable goods like bread and milk. These daily supplies become scarce and more expensive, and the economy falls apart. People lose their savings as cash loses its value, and that's what America is going through, the devaluation of the U.S. currency. For that reason, the elderly are often the most vulnerable to hyperinflation. Soon banks and leaders go bankrupt because their loans lose value. They run out of cash as people stop making deposits. All right, so this is gonna come to pass, man. This is real deal, Holyfield. All right, that is about to come to pass upon Babylon the Great. Meanwhile, people want to still celebrate, as of today, so-called, Valentine's Day. People think of peace and safety, going back to 1 Thessalonians 5:3. All right. But not knowing and not understanding the times that we are in and the times that we are about to enter into through Jacob's trouble, is going to be all anarchy and all out hell upon the earth, man. The Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is going to unleash the floodgates of hell, man. As I like to say, opens Pandora's box. And what that's going into is basically just imagine, martial law in the streets, people getting, gunned down, getting killed, babies, women getting raped, okay? Women getting assaulted in that day. Ain't gonna be no such thing as I'm a woman, I got rights in that day. Once the Lord execute his judgments and open up his judgments unto this world full throttle, that's it. Ain't no turning back. And this is one of the things that's going to drive the people insane. All right. This is one of the key elements as Because I remember Elder Apostle Aron Lob had did a video, and I also did a counter video, a response video to his video, going in how they use food as a weapon. All right, basically orchestrating famines and great destructions in order to use that as a way of warlike tactics. All right, basically holding sieges upon people and goods and stuff. And the same thing happened among in 70 AD. All right, in Jerusalem. Okay, that great siege. All right, and another great siege is about to come upon the planet of the earth through Jacob's trouble. Because Jacob's trouble, as it says in Jeremiah 30 and verse 7, is like no other, man. And none is like unto it, roughly paraphrasing. Okay, because this is about to be the worst judgments that's been upon the face of the earth. All right, even going to outdo the flood, because end all be all, this place will be hit by the new fire and brimstone. All right, those ICBMs and hypersonic nuclear missiles. All right, fire and brimstone, the new age of the fire and brimstone, man. New technology. Okay. Esau's left hand miracles is going to be their own destruction. Okay. And this is the different places that hyperinflation happened. All right. And none of it is good, man. So let me go straight into the script. All right. So y'all get the idea of hyperinflation. So with that being said, the Lord is about to visit the world which he made, going back to 2nd Ezra, the 9th chapter. But let me get this. 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse 18. The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, and beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, and beginning of evils, bad times. What shall I do when these evils shall come? And ultimately, the ultimate answer for that is have the trust, have trust and faith in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, man. Bahashem Rakak Wadash, even if it means unto death. All right, because it is a great reward that we're looking forward to. Verse 19, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. And ultimately it's for the 2/3, man. All right, the Lord is not going to punish the righteous, the elect on this side along with the rest of the nation of Israel, the 2/3. All right, the Lord has a remnant that he's going to save, the one that return back unto him and worship him in spirit and in truth. Okay. Verse 20, but for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. Verse 21, behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon the earth. All right, victuals going into your goods, man, your consumer goods, and your necessities and so on and so forth. All right, it should be so good cheap, because at one point in time a few years back, and I remember right before the demic had hit, all right, things were rarely cheap. All right, a lot of things was going good. The economy, even though they say it was going, the economy was in better state a few years back, even though it was still on a rapid decline, it was in a better state back then. So how much more now? All right, as we're in 2024, the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble, okay, coming to pass. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they think themselves to be in good case. A 1 Thessalonians 5:3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them. Because like I said, a lot of people are still worshiping these false holidays. Okay. These pagan folly days, as we like to call them. A lot of people still follow after the ways and the philosophies of Babylon the Great. All right. Follow the ways and the philosophies of the so-called white man. All right. Esau, Edom, the wicked that the Bible speaks of, and not after Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. And that's what's about to come upon the earth. Great confusion. All right. By the way of the sword and famine. OK. And when hyperinflation hits, a famine is going to be all around, Babylon the Great. All right. Just like how it say in Isaiah 65:13, ye shall be hungry. Matter of fact, let me get that right quick. Get this precept. It's another precept I thought of too. Isaiah 65:13. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, Allah Hayam power. Behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but ye should be ashamed. Behold, my servants shall sing for joy of heart, joy of mind. All right, because wisdom and for wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of our times, man. Going back to Isaiah 33:6. That's why we're going to have a saying for joy of heart. But ye shall cry for sorrow of heart and shall howl for vexation of spirit. And that's the 2/3, man. The one that's going to be suffering, the one that's going to be starving out. All right, being thirsty. All right, whether they be physically thirsty or spiritually thirsty for this truth, because the famine of the word is about to come too, pursuing the Amos 8:11 on down to 12. All right, because the Lord is about to withdraw his men, because once that happened, judgment is going to be open out. All right, once he withdraw the men of the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, once they do that, all hell basically is going to break loose, and it's going to be right around the corner, man. Let me see. Job 5:19. Laugh. Famine. Okay. Job 55, chapter 5 and verse 22. At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the field, of the earth. All right. When all hell breaks loose, all right, praying that we of that election, that number, the Lord is going to have us well protected in that day, to the point we're not going to have the power of fear upon us. We're going to have the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai upon us, man, and great boldness and righteousness. Okay, that's going to happen in that day and in that time when all hell is breaking loose. All right. And that's the separation from the elect and the non-elect members. Okay. Let me go back. 2nd Ezra 16 again. It's 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse 21. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon the earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case, and even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that shall escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them. For the earth shall be wasted, and the cities shall be cast down. All right, and these cities are going to be cast down, man. Let me get 2nd Ezra 6, because it's a key point. All right, because these things, all right, when hyperinflation comes to play, these things are going to happen. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse 22 on down to 24 is the point. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. All right, and we're going through that phase right now where a lot of businesses are shutting down, becoming bandos, abandoned buildings. All right, basically just collecting dust and space. Okay, because the mirth is gone, man, pursuing the Isaiah 24, the 24th chapter in verse 10. All right, so let me get that since I quoted it. Go to Isaiah 24. Judgment on the earth. Okay, this is Isaiah chapter 24 verse 10. The city of confusion is broken down, every house is shut up, that no man may come in. There is a crying for wine in the streets, for wisdom in the streets, man, for understanding. All joy is darkened, the mirth of the land is gone, and the city is left desolation, and the gate is smitten with destruction. And that's totally what's coming upon this place, Babylon the Great. All right, and we're seeing the signs of it via hyperinflations, because like I said, man, from the sounds of it, hyperinflation is not going to be no laughing matter. All right, because like I say, a lot of people are not going to be able to do the things that they normally do. All right, take trips. All right, go to clubs, parties, bullshit, waste money on, bullshit, whether it be liquor, drugs. I'm talking about like large amounts of liquors and so on and so forth that comes with that partying lifestyle, blah, 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 all that BS, man. All that shit is about to come to naught. OK, especially when hyperinflation, really kicks in, because you got to look at what happened to Venezuela over the past couple of years. All right. Venezuela basically is a ghost town, man. It's basically a war zone and a forbidden zone for people to live, man. All right. Crime is sky high and the economy is just over. But meanwhile, Venezuela was either the richest or one of the richest countries in the world through the oil. And you can all put two and two together and realize, it was more, it's a, psyop, man. Everything happens for a reason. All right. And that this devil don't keep at home. That this devil wants, all nations unto himself, and all, goods and so on and so forth, man. That's just how the devil operates. All right. Esau, Edom. Anyway. Second Ezra chapter 6 and 23. And the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid. At that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountain shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. All right. Friends are going to fight like enemies, man. And what's going to lead to that? Because of the lack of bread and food, or bread and water. All right. Second Ezra chapter 15. I'm going to start at verse 15. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another. And that's civil war, clash wars. All right, the Egyptians fighting the Egyptians, Isaiah the 19th chapter. And swords in their hands. And the modern day sword is the guns, man. That's why you're going to have militia groups, all right, that's going to be fighting the American government, all right, the American U.S. armies fighting against the citizens, all right, the citizens fighting against other citizens, different neighborhoods and different blocks and sections over in the certain neighborhoods. And hold on, Salaki, I'll be right back. All right, Salaki. All right, so let me read verse 16, 2 Ezra 15 and 16. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. All right, going into those militia groups. All right, different people teaming up with different people in the neighborhoods and so on and so forth. But that's not even going to work, and that's even going to fail, because that's how bad it's going to be in that day, man. All right. Friends are going to fight like enemies. All right. Because basically of the lack of resources and the lack of understanding what's going on in the earth. And that's going to drive a lot of people insane. That's why we have the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah to not bug out, praying that we are of the elect. Because at the end of the day, we're still going to be involved in the times of Jacob's trouble. OK, well, we're just hoping to be saved out of it. And we have great faith and confidence in that. Verse 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able to. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword. The modern day sword is the gun. And spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulations. All right. Great tribulation is about to come upon this earth. All right. That's why a lot of people are going to go crazy, batshit crazy, when this society fails and they can't go to the way they used to be, man. I'm going to read further down verse 57. Thy children shall die of hunger, and thou shalt fall through the sword. Thy city shall be broken down, and all thine shall perish with the city, with the sword in the field. All right, which is, the major cities. Okay, if I'm not mistaken. Verse 58, they that be in the mountains or in the, the wooded areas, the countrysides, all right, where civilization really is not, a big part of, because a lot of people really think that running in the woods, going into the mountains, even having bunkers is going to save them from the wrath of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah. Not understanding that neither of those things can profit them, from the great wrath of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah. Either you're going to be judged, destroyed, or you're going to be saved, delivered, man. All right. Verse 58, that they that be in the mountains shall die of hunger and eat their own flesh and drink their own blood for very hunger of bread and thirst of water. And that's how the Lord is going to take out a lot of people, man, by famines. All right. Thirst for water. They got to drink, their blood. All right. They have to drink piss, contaminated waters. OK, that's what's coming to this place. Great troubles. All right. So I'm going to end off with this, because when hyperinflation kicks in, families will starve. And especially when that dollar collapse, great confusion is going to be upon the land, and Esau Edom is going to come with the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai and his mark in Revelation 13 and 16. Revelation 13 and 16, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name, man. All right. And that's what it boils down to. OK, hyperinflation is about to hit Babylon the Great, and this dollar will collapse. OK, so with that, I'm going to close out by saying Kahalayam La, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles, a great millstone that teach us this truth through the Rakah Kwadash. All right, Bahashem, Rakah Kwadash, in the name of the Holy Spirit. Double honors to the elders and the apostles, a great millstone. Peace, love, and blessings to the elect scattered abroad, the 144,000 and the 1/3 around the four corners of the earth, mainly in Babylon the Great, America. To you I say shalom, shalom, peace, love, and blessings and protection unto the remnant, the elect. Shalom.